Alright, we are on the draw here. Match 2 of this league. This hand's a keep. Couple threats. Cantrip. A little bit of interaction. Not much interaction, but it's there. Mana leak on the draw is not fantastic. We're not exactly going to rave about that. I wonder if there's a way to save your layout settings so that we don't have to pop out those graveyards every game. That would be quite nice. Bloodstained Mire. The opponent about to give us more information. Is it a Thoughtseize? It smells like a Thoughtseize. Inquisition, same thing. Say goodbye to that Delver, maybe Mana Leak. Probably Delver, unless they have a wicked 3-drop they want to resolve. They can't take Mandrills. Hopefully they don't have discard to follow that up with. If we could go turn 2 Mandrills with that Thought Scour, I would be reasonably pleased. Maybe they take the Thought Scour? That doesn't seem very good, though. I think we just play out a Delver of Secrets. It's either Delver or Thought Scour. If we go for the Thought Scour, if they Thoughtseize the Mandrills, I'm going to be extremely upset. So I think Delver is definitely the lower risk version. And since we have a bunch of fetch lands, we can actually go turn 2 Mandrills regardlessly, especially because of all the help the opponent's been doing here. In fact, if they have a fatal push for this, no, we won't be able to go Delver plus Mandrills next turn. That would be fantastic. Could be a lot of decks still. They took Thought Scour, so they're playing around Mandrills. That's understandable, I think. Foothills gets basic Mountain. Okay. Lightning Bolt. Could still be a lot of decks. Actually, because they played 2 spells there, we can play both of these. Thanks to the power of fetch lands. So I believe we're going to grab a basic forest and have some fun. They know everything in our hand anyways except the land we just drew, so we may as well play some stuff out. Basic Forest, Delver of Secrets. Shout out to the opponent for interacting with us and enabling this Mandrills to be a 1-drop. I appreciate it. That's our nut draw, right? Delver into Delver plus Mandrills. I don't think there's a way we could get more aggressive than that. We're still not doing all that much damage in a reasonable time frame, but that's because they interacted. Granted, the only reason we were able to go Delver plus Mandrills on turn 2 is because of all the interaction. Not Terminate is Terminate. Oh, Dreadbore. Okay. I guess I got my wish. Can't complain. Thoughtseize. Gotcha. Nice job, Island. Good on you for being drawn. Serum Visions, that's timely. I don't really want to get another blue source. I honestly wanted this to be Stomping Ground so we could have 2 of each color with these 4 lands, but kind of want to play this Visions right now, and I kind of want to get this Misty out of my hand, and I kind of want to have blue mana up. So I'm going to give up on double green, which shouldn't be a huge problem. We're going to get Steam Vents, I think. Yeah. Double red seems more important than double green in general, especially when you're not rocking that, wait for it, Simic Charm. These are both fantastic against mid-range decks, which it appears the opponent is playing. So let's throw both of these on top. Traverse isn't going to be great for a little while, but hey, still good. Still good. Soon as we find an instant, that turns into another threat. Liliana? Not Liliana. Kolagon's Command. Making me discard a card? Okay. They know about the island. Let's do that. Seems reasonable to me. We get to pretend we have a Stubborn Denial in hand. That's something. Did I play a land that turn? I feel like I didn't. No, I intentionally didn't, so I could pretend I had spells. That was the point. We're gonna swing. Batter, batter, batter. Alright, Goyf. We still have a spell. If the opponent has another Kolaghan's command, though, I probably want to discard this instead of this. Yeah, we have enough instants that I probably want to care about my Traverse, so I think I'm going to go with this. I would be worried about Liliana of the Veil as well ticking up, but if they have a Liliana, it's going to tick down. As I said, dealing with Tarmogoyf seems like a good idea out of the opponent. Thought Scour, we turn on Traverse, and go from there, I guess. Okay. Okay. We can cast both of these. Nux. That would have been very nice. Yeah. Slam Goyf, Traverse out a Nux. Next turn we can play Nux, give it haste. That would have been quite good. Liliana is going to tick up next turn, so I don't think I actually want to cast both of these. Means whatever we Traverse for gets discarded away. I think I want to play out the Tarmogoyf. What else? What else? We play Goyf, hope it doesn't get removed. They tick up, we discard this, we Traverse out, who knows. I don't think we actually have any good lines with this Traverse because of that Liliana, which is really unfortunate. What's the game plan here? It's awkward that Thought Scour drew us a card we actually care about, because if it found another land, then we could just say, oh, we'll discard a land to the Traverse. So we actually, I don't want to say we're disadvantaged by drawing well, but our decision is made much more difficult because we drew well. I am playing out this Tarmogoyf because if they don't have an answer, they're going to be hard-pressed to answer it. Hard-pressed to survive, sorry. I'm not going to play out the land or the Traverse. We're going to defer that decision. I'm definitely not going to go land, fetch out a green source, cast Traverse. That seems terrible, because that means we're getting a card out of our deck for them to make us discard, and that's just silly. Alright, what'll it be? If we draw another land, Traverse could theoretically be good, so I'm going to discard the land. Three mana, flashback Faithless Looting. Mardu Pyromancer, possibly? They discarded Kolaghan's Command and Collective Brutality. Okay. Forked Bolt. Well, we did it. I actually, knock on wood, they don't have a Fatal Push. Really shouldn't jinx myself like that. Oh, boy! Burn spell while the opponent has a Planeswalker in play. It's not going to ask us to redirect. And if we wanted, we could have split the damage. Look at that. Dominaria with the update. Mardu Pyromancer is what we're going to assume the opponent was on. And it's not even all that relevant because if we're wrong, it's still that kind of deck. Do I have Mardu Pyromancer boarded for? I should, and I do. Look at that. Pyroclasm, maybe Anger, maybe not. Pyroclasm, not Anger. Okay. I can see that as being defensible. EE, Basilisk Collar, Huntmaster. They go wide, and they go wide quite a bit. I'm not boarding in Anger of the Gods. I'm honestly not all that sure why I'm not boarding in Anger of the Gods. Possibly because I also have Engineered Explosives, and we probably don't need 3 sweepers. Yeah, I don't want to dilute the deck. I think that's defensible. We're not boarding in Click, which is interesting, but the opponent has a bunch of burn spells, including Kolaghan's Command. Huntmaster is great in these mid-range matchups. Basilisk Collar I like very much against their deck, because it makes it basically impossible for them to win while you have a threat in play. Mardu Pyromancer does not have a good enough clock that the 4 to 5 life gain a turn can't just outright stop them from winning, which means they need to kill basically every threat you have at that point, which is a lot nicer than them being able to leave 1 or 2 alive and just go over the top of you with tokens and such. So we're going to board in those. Blood Moon, not good against them. Artifact Hate, eh. Land Hate, also pretty eh. And we don't want counters against discard decks, so what are we going to board out? Thought Scours, Roast, Dismember. Thought Scour, I think, is pretty fair. They're going to be interacting quite a bit with us. Roast and Dismember answer Bedlam Reveler, but Bedlam Reveler's scary on the way in, not really that scary on the way out. Granted, it can hit for 4 to 5 a turn sometimes, but still. Burn spells are great. Hit Planeswalkers, hit tokens, combine with something to deal with a Reveler maybe. Not sure I want these 2 Spell Snares. Why am I not boarding out counter spells? I guess I don't have enough to board in? That's probably the case. Echoing Truth kind of does work against tokens. Another reason not to board in Anger. I'm going to run this. I'm not entirely sure I like it. I'm not entirely sure I like anything at this point because I haven't played Magic for a month. That makes me very indecisive and out of tune with the format. This hand doesn't look very good. Lightning Bolt answers a young Pyromancer. Stubborn Denial is going to do a lot of nothing. Echoing Truth is going to be hot garbage for a long time. Mandrills is either going to get discarded or not be used, basically. On the other hand, I don't love mulliganing against this kind of deck. I'm gonna go to 6. Deck did not fail me. Instead, deck rewarded my faith in its greatness. Probably a discard spell, but hey, we still have stuff. Ooh, Graveyard Hate. Sure. Tarmogoyf's going to be fine through that in most cases. They have Thoughtseize effect, so we're not going to crack that Bauble immediately. We are going to Visions. Third land means I don't really want this. Delver of Secrets seems great. Probably not going to crack the Bauble until after the Delver comes down at this point. We're pretty well locked into playing Tarmogoyf next turn anyways. There's not much we could draw that's going to make me change that decision. So I don't think I actually care to crack the Bauble here. There's not much of a downside to letting them know we have red mana. Safe to play out the Tarmogoyf because we can Bauble in response to a Lightning Bolt to save it. Can't Bauble in response to a Fatal Push. Well, that's not strictly true. We do have priority and the ability to crack that Bauble in response to Fatal Push. How much good it's going to do us, I could not say. Sacred Foundry, Mardu colors confirmed. Smells like there's a Lingering Souls in the future for us. Fetch land means we could go Delver plus Mandrills. However, that requires us to give up our Delver Scry off of the Bauble. Chances are one or both are dying anyways. So I don't think that's a concern. I'm going to give up a lot of scrying opportunities here because they're going to be lost anyways. We already have green. So I think we're going to get our double red here. Crack this. Take a look at what they're going to draw. Ooh, that's something I would very much like to bolt in the near future. Alright, we might see a bunch of removal spells here. Probably will between our turn and their turn. The yield sign no longer shows up when you hit 8. That's interesting. Ooh. Bolt through Thoughtseize. That I like. That I like quite a bit. Here's Pyromancer. No, it isn't. It's Kolaghan's Command. Make us discard a card. Kolagon's command. We're gonna dump the breeding pool since we don't have much need for it yet. Land, nothing. Okay. Ooh, clock time. Clock time. This'll be fun. I don't think they have a 1-mana way of interacting with mandrills. That speeds up our clock quite considerably. Makes me almost not even care about tokens. What do we draw? Is it good? Come on, mandrills. Flooded Strand. We could save that for discarding, but we could also just bolt their face twice. So, I'm not really concerned with discard spells. I'd actually love to see a Thoughtseize here. Watch the opponent go down to 6. I can live with that. Oh, how I can live with that. Peasy's fine. They need to produce a lot souls. Yeah. A-okay. They need a lot of toughness and or power before I care about this, so I'm gonna swing. We're not gonna play that out just yet. If they decide they're willing to trade their board for mandrills, we're just gonna bolt the Pyromancer and blow them right out. They did not. If we draw a lightning bolt, that's game. We didn't. That's a-okay. We're going to play out our lands to continue playing around discard spells. I think I still don't care about Peasy. Maybe I'm wrong to not care about Peasy, but they're at 9. They're at 9, and we have 2 bolts. I feel like that means we just try to kill them as quickly as possible. Souls? Yep. Nihil Spellbomb does ruin the burn plan somewhat. Tarmogoyf. That's going to get cast. We probably just swing with the mandrills. If they trade a bunch of tokens with it, it's probably fine. We're not going to swing with the Delver, because trading that for an elemental feels bad. Could have shuffled the Tarmogoyf away, but it's pretty good. Don't hate having a Tarmogoyf here. If they deal with the mandrills, that puts creature and enchantment in the bin, which means Goyf just becomes massive. Bolt the Delver, okay. That's a bolt that's not going at my face, which is something I like. And they still need to give up spirit tokens, probably, if they want to... You know what? It's probably worth using the lightning bolts to save the mandrills and blow them out that way. Yeah, I'm just being too greedy by wanting to bolt face here. It's almost certainly the better decision, and we know they're out of cards. They block... We use the lightning bolts to ensure Mandrill survives. They lose pretty much their entire board, and we keep our threat, and we play Tarmogoyf. That's having your cake and eating it too. I shouldn't bolt face. We're going to find out how this goes once the opponent decides how they want to block. Actually, we're still in attacks. There we go. What do you got? Come on, put Peasy in front of it. You know you want to put Peasy in front of it. There's pretty much no way they want to put Peasy in front of it, but... I mean, maybe. I'd bolt a Spirit or an Elemental all the same if it means Mandrill survives and we're in an incredibly favorable position, but it feels much better to bolt the Pyromancer. Naturally. If they put just about everything in front of Mandrills, we lose it no matter what. In that case, we probably end up bolting face. Trample means they're going to go big on this. 3, 4, come on, just 5. Just 5. Leave it at that. 6, not 7. Not 7, 7. Okay. They did the thing. They did the thing. We bolt 2 things, and then Mandrills trades with the other 5. They're playing around 2 bolts. Good for them. Good for them. Let's take out those spirits, though. Seems like a good plan. Yep. They nuke our graveyard? Sure. That's going to shrink Goyf a bit. Their graveyard's still pretty big, though, and we're going to bolt that Pyromancer, so I don't hate that. Them drawing a card is something I don't like. Then again, they don't really have counter spells, so Pyromancer's still quite liable to die. Let's deal with that. And get this guy down. Game's not over yet. Quite far from it, really. Those were very good blocks on the opponent's part. Playing around both bolts. Lily the Last Hope. That's definitely the Lily I would rather see here. Liliana of the Veil would be quite tragic. Wonder where this bolt's going to end up going. Chances are they're ticking up. They might get Peasy back. That's pretty defensible. In which case we're still probably bolting Peasy, but then eventually they could get Peasy back again. So maybe we don't want to bolt Peasy and we just take out the Liliana. I'm not sure. They have lands in the bin, so cracking those fetches doesn't grow the Goyf, sorry. Well, I guess it's mostly speculation until we actually find out what the opponent does. They're plussing. Alright. 2-4 is still more than big enough to contend with these elementals, so that's good. Mandrills is quite nice. We're probably going to crack both of these and slam that. Yeah, we're going to go face here. Chances are it's all the same. We don't have Blood Moons, but they might. Chances are they don't, looking at their lands here, but I don't know how many fetches they've used. How many fetches have you used, opponent? 1? Lingering Souls is in exile. Why is this revealed? This is from a long time ago. Kolagon's command showed us that. I'm going to grab basics because I don't think there's a downside to that, and our life total will matter eventually. Let's play this Mandrills. And I think I want to hold up Lightning Bolt, so we're going to get rid of Bolt and a land. This Bolt will serve as our Snapcaster Mage Bolt. Then again, we might end up finding both Snapcaster Mages and regretting getting rid of that one Bolt, but I think I'd rather have the land in this case. Playing around Traverse more there, I think. Which, I mean, finding one of the two Traverse is a lot more likely than finding both Snapcaster Mages. They take down. They grab Pyromancer. They might flash back a Faithless Looting. They could hit Reveler here sooner or later. Pyromancer probably going to come down, followed by a flashbacked Faithless Looting, which means we probably just bolt the Pyromancer, but I might bolt Lily instead. Ooh, they're getting 4 mana together. Wonder what that's about. 2, 3, looting. I don't really want to let that resolve while Pyromancer is still around. On the other hand, I kind of do, so that I can decide what to bolt with greater information. They only have 1 mana up. Did they play a land? I don't think they did. I used Misty. I played Mandrills. They cast Peasy. Where did their turn start? Flooded Strand. Here we go. No land. They did not play a land. Chances are they're going to find one. Which means we might expect a Bedlam Reveler. This is fine. It's not really fine, but I think we're going to allow it. If we see land plus Reveler, holding onto that bolt seems much better. Inquisition. Okay. They get the extra token. These 2 threats are going to do a very nice job against them, though, so I kind of just want to kill this. Or we bolt them. No, I think we're going to kill this. I'm going after the Liliana instead of the Pyromancer here, because Liliana could eventually get them Pyromancer back, whilst also slowing down our threats via ticking up. The opponent only having one card there means they can't go land plus spell. We're going to throw caution somewhat to the wind and ignore damnation. Excuse me. Let's get frisky. They chump both and take 4 probably. Can't say I'm disappointed. Over to you, opponent. I don't want priority. Don't give it to me. What do you got? Another looting. 2 lootings actually in the bin. They could churn through a lot of cards. They only have so much mana though. Granted, they are playing a deck full of answers to these kinds of threats. Fatal Push makes short work of Tarmogoyf. Reveler? Smells like Reveler. Yeah, it is. We have a game, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty sure we're still just swinging with the team, though. Bolt. Oh, how we are swinging with the team. Oh, boy. I imagine they need to block everything. No, they absolutely do need to block everything. However, they might not put enough in front of Mandrills, which would be quite nice. They are making sure to put enough in front of Mandrills. Are they counting on a removal spell here? Probably. Looks like they have a Fatal Push in hand. If they crack that Bloodstained Mire, I might bolt the Peasy. Okay, they're not going for anything. That's fine. Assign blocking order. We're going to kill the big one. I believe that's it. We could save Mandrills, but I think I'd rather have the Bolt. Cool. They have a lot of cards, though, and a lot of mana to use them. Lightning Bolt means cracking the... I said that if they crack Bloodstained Mire to get a Fatal Push, or to get mana so that they could assumably Fatal Push, I would bolt the Pyromancer. But if they crack the Bloodstained Mire, they're going down to 3. And Lightning Bolt deals 3 damage. Alright. I dare say Nux is probably the more valuable threat here, so I'm going to give up the Tarmogoyf. Nux doesn't die to push, and it also can be bounced, so I think I'd rather have that. I really just want to see them crack that Bloodstained Mire. Snapcaster Mage, Lightning Bolt, Forked Bolt, Tarfire, also things I would be okay with seeing here. 2 mana. We playing the Reveler game? No? Maybe? Who knows? Not me. Maybe you do? I certainly don't. 2 mana. We trying to take out Nux? Collective Brutality. Oh, that's not good. That doesn't necessarily change the math, but I don't like it. It does change the math. Okay, that's actually very well played on the opponent's part. Playing the Brutality first, I like that a lot. Peasy. I might bolt that. Oh, I want to bolt everything. I want to bolt this, I want to bolt this, and I want to bolt this. Chances are the mana isn't going to be a constraint. So I think I'm just going to draw a card. It's a Spell Snare. That would have been very good on the previous turn. As is, we're going to swing with Nux. They're going to chump. I think we're just locked into bolting the Pyromancer. Yeah, they have looting in their graveyard. We have to bolt Pyromancer. Bolting Face doesn't make sense. Unless I'm just hoping to find another burn spell. Think we're just going to bolt this. Next time they try to put it down, we can counter it. Lingering Souls? Opponent, just don't. Don't do that. Maybe we should have gotten aggressive with that Lightning Bolt. I don't know. I don't really like either line. They have a Bolt. Sure. Probably Flashback. Lingering Souls. We lose Spell Snare. Yup. I think I messed up. I did not expect Lingering Souls for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but I did not expect Lingering Souls. Pyroclasm. Forked Bolt. You know what? That kills this. That kills this. If we take out 2 spirits, they chump with one of them, and then Lily takes out Nux. So I think we're actually going to do this. We are targeting a Planeswalker, people. Let it be known. It happened. Alright, let's slog. This is going to take a very long time to potentially win. I am A-okay with that. Please put more. All of them even. Nope. Well, we could always hope that they didn't read Nux. I'm sure plenty of people don't. Go to the opponent. Not gonna hit 6, because we very well might be bouncing that Knuckleblade. Faithless Looting, flashbacked. Get some card selection from our opponent. Sooner or later, they're gonna hit another Reveler. Well, they didn't yet. I imagine they swing with 2. Ooh, all 3. That means they have something, right? Oh, wow, we're low on life. We are low on life. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Terminate out of the opponent. I would do it now, too. Make sure we don't draw a counterspell, say a Stubborn Denial. Even Mana Leak does the job. We're going to bounce this. Not much else we're doing here. We may as well save it. EE. That's a draw. That is a draw. I guess we don't have to do that yet. We'll force the issue. Well, actually, no. We're letting them force the issue. Chances are they're not going to commit anything else, but at least we make them not commit anything else. That's the important thing. That's not a bad reason to have more anger effects. Oh, discard spell. Gross opponent. Gross. Stubborn Denial. Well, didn't you come late? I guess I'm much happier to have drawn the EE than the Denial on that previous turn, but if that was the draw for the turn before that, that would have been fantastic. Speak of fantastic. Huntmaster of the Fells. Here to make tokens gain us life and do all sorts of good things. This has been a very long game. Wow. We can't stop that, so it's gonna happen. Huntmaster's gonna put down the Pyromancer. That's good. Don't know if it's gonna be too late, but it's gonna happen. Maybe we put down the Spirit instead? Wooded Foothills. That's not good. Don't even think I'm gonna play that. Don't think I swing with the Wolf. Probably the same either way, but I kind of want to have Huntmaster shoot a Spirit. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like we're supposed to shoot Peasy. I'm going to shoot Peasy. Hopefully Huntmaster is going to gain us enough life. Fatal Push. Oh. Oh! Look at that. Denial I know I complained about you, but you sweet, sweet counterspell. Actually, trample's very relevant here. I don't know how much they can afford to attack. This is great. Traverse. We have 5 card types and a lightning bolt in the graveyard. Alright. Oh, that was a good game. That makes up for the lantern one, that's for sure. Whew. Oh, that was fantastic. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. And I hope to see you in the next one.